Hi, I'm Dr. Walter Matwychuk, and the purpose of today's intermittent reinforcement email message is to talk to you about how to cope with dishonesty in romantic relationships. When people get involved romantically with each other, it's not uncommon for someone in the relationship to act in a dishonest way. One might cheat on the other person or leave out important details about their life circumstances. And when their partner discovers the truth about the situation, they very often respond with feelings of hurt, anger, and thoughts that do not help them make prudent decisions about their future involvement in the relationship. Rational emotive behavior therapy helps you respond to dishonesty using the ABC framework so that you have a healthy negative emotional response to the dishonesty that's been uncovered. When you have healthy negative feelings, you're in a better position to do what is best in the long run. The purpose of today's intermittent reinforcement email message is not so much to talk to you about what would constitute the best decision in the long run, but to show you the healthy attitudes that would enable you to have healthy negative feelings of disappointment, annoyance, sadness, and concern that would then allow you not to act impulsively, not to respond in a short-sighted way, but to determine what would be in your best interest over the long run, which could be severing the relationship, or it could be giving the person another chance. So I'd encourage you to read today's intermittent reinforcement email message and see how the attitudes that are rigid and extreme may be easy for you to think. Things like people have to be honest with me because I've been honest with them. And I can't stand when people are not honest with me. They're complete jerks. And really recognize that although it's difficult to think in a flexible and non-extreme way about another person's behavior that you may love, it's possible. And when you think in a non-extreme, flexible way about other people's misbehavior, the disappointment and sadness that are healthy for you to feel because you didn't get what you want will enable you to sleep on a decision and then figure out what to do about your future involvement in the relationship. In rational emotive behavior therapy, we would hope that you would keep your wishes, keep your wants for honesty, but avoid condemning the other person who's been dishonest with you. But hold them responsible for their dishonest behavior and to then put that behavior down, but not put the other person down. This is what we call unconditional other acceptance, and we encourage people to show unconditional other acceptance to those who mistreat us. This, again, does not mean that we put up with misbehavior, but it avoids the unhealthy negative emotions that go with condemning people rather than merely rating what they do as bad or negative. We go beyond that and rate the whole person. We don't want you to do that in REBT, and it's in your best interest not to down people. The other thing you want to avoid in a situation where there's been dishonesty is for you to put yourself down by holding rigid attitudes like, I should have known better, I should have seen it coming. When we should on ourselves, we very often then down ourselves. And so in REBT, we would want you to hold a flexible attitude towards overlooking what may have been red flags and then learning from the experience, but not downing yourself. That's not going to help you. It's only going to lead you to feel hopeless and overgeneralize about the prospects of ever finding a lasting relationship that will be reasonably good. So I would encourage you to study today's intermittent reinforcement email message and then really ask yourself, how it might apply to you. Even if you're not in a romantic relationship, it still may help you cope with the misbehavior of other people and help you achieve a healthy emotional response to their misbehavior. In rational emotive behavior therapy, we're always encouraging people to have a healthy emotional response to the adversity they face, whether it be adversity that's created by other people or adversity that's created by life circumstances, not necessarily other people, or even adversity that we create ourselves. Sometimes we create our own problems, and when we do, it's important to again have a flexible attitude of not wanting to repeat those mistakes, but not holding the rigid attitude that we must not make those mistakes in the first place, because this inevitably leads to self-condemnation. Rational emotive behavior therapy emphasizes that humans are fallible, imperfect, and prone to error. And although we don't want to use fallibility as an excuse, because we're still responsible for the way we treat other people, it can't be denied that humans are not saints, that they will sometimes be deceitful, they will sometimes not do the better thing. And when in dealing with them, it's in our best interest to not anger ourselves, but to deal with each instance of misbehavior in a sensible and healthy way. I would also like to remind you and invite you to my weekly demonstration on Saturday at 9 a.m. in New York on Zoom, when I select a volunteer from somewhere in the world and show them how to apply the powerful ideas of REBT to their particular problem. These are real problems that we discuss, not role plays. And then after 40 minutes, I take questions from the viewing audience, which usually is well over 160 people from around the world. So I'd encourage you to write to me at rebtdoctor@gmail.com to request the link. It's the same link every week. So once you're on my list, you'll get the link. You can also go to my website, rebtdoctor.com, and take advantage of some of the free audio that's found there. My goal to disseminate the powerful ideas of REBT, and I do that through my weekly demonstrations, as well as the resources, the educational resources that I make available through my website, as well as the individual sessions that I provide my clients and patients. This weekly demonstration at this time of the year can be a little bit tricky because the United States has changed its clocks. Today is March the 11th, and yesterday we moved our clocks forward. So I would suggest that you use the web to help you determine what time the meeting takes place in your neck of the woods. It starts every week in New York at 9 a.m. In New York City, so you can then go and translate that to your local time. I hope to see you on Saturday.